And away we go. It is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Galactic Fried Chicken download. GalacticFriedChicken.com. Download the app. iPhone, Android, everything Galactic. Get delivery. Our guy Jeff today got some delivery. Aaron, I don't agree with him. He gave it an 8.1. I guess you can't be mad about an 8.1.
I wonder if he got
a good grade.
We knew before, was it before New Year's, they had a different batch of sauce. And I wonder if there's a different batch of sauce right now. Because he said
it wasn't spicy. There wasn't enough spice to it.
He also told us everything that he puts in his burger last night in our after show.
Yeah.
And
it's like 7 jalapenos, 4 Scotch bonnets. Like
he gets a little wild with it. He goes with whatever the spice that you guys use. That smoker's rub spice.
Yeah.
I know you guys talked about
the Holy Voodoo.
Yeah.
So I for me,
listen, 8.1's not bad for delivery.
Strong, really strong. He got delivery. The fries were good. The tendies were good. He said the sauce wasn't up to his full standard, which, okay. Sometimes everybody's got their own thing. That's fine.
I don't know in the chat if we asked him if he was able to eat all 3 or not.
Oh, we should have.
We'll find out.
We should have. Yeah.
Something to talk about
tomorrow. We'll get to that soon. So yeah, get to galacticfriedchicken.com, get to the storefront in Dayton. Give us your score. We're pretending like we're mad at Jeff because he gave him an 8.1. 8.1. I'm eating it at 8.1. I've eaten a lot of 7.4s.
How excited is anyone who gets an 8.1 from
right
Barstool with the pizza reviews?
Right.
8.1's a high score,
legendary score.
Yeah.
So 8.1. Jeff from PTP. He was excited about it last night too. Like he was pumped up.
Well, he didn't know that they deliver, and apparently, even Ed said they'll deliver all the way to Loveland. So for those of you who are looking for that, it's like an extra $10 or $15 to go all the way up there. But right now with gas prices, that might actually be worth it.
Right? Cheaper. Cheaper to have them do it than you.
Absolutely.
So the big news of the day, unfortunately, Mesa Madsen goes in the transfer portal. It marks kind of the official start of the offseason. There's Mason's the comments. It's a kid that loved UC. Like that's the hard part about it for me. He really enjoyed his time at UC. He embraced the culture. He was at football games, women's basketball games, volleyball games, baseball games. Like that's hard when it's a kid like that really like dives in and becomes a part of something. It sucks that it didn't work out.
Agreed. The one statement in his statement that stands out, though, there is no doubt in my mind that Coach Miller is the right guy for the job.
That's what happens when a coach has honest conversations with a player. Like, not derogatory, you suck, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's not how Wes Miller is handling this thing. How Wes Miller is handling this thing is, look, here's where we're going. Here's where we've been. This is the next step. Do you see yourself here? And if you don't see yourself here, then maybe the right call for you is to go look for somewhere that you can fit, that you see yourself as a, 30-minute a game, 14-point a game scorer.
And I'm curious if this is the Tar Heel way, if this was the UNCG way, or if this is just simply the Wes Miller way.
I think with Wes, I think there's a lot of probably hard realizations that happened over this past year. And remember, the most unexpected, unbelievable thing happened after Wes Miller got the job. We're going to the big ball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hold on. What I thought the job I got was this, and now the job is go compete in the best basketball conference in America. Things change.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a bad word to say about Mesa Madsen.
I mean,
worked hard. He
yes.
filled his role. He did what was asked of him.
Well, for a guy
going forward, for what his visions of success look like.
Right? For a guy who was looked at as a throw-in to get his brother,
right,
and busted his ass to be the only Madsen who really ever. I mean, I think Gabe saw what, like, did he see double-digit minutes? Did he ever hit 10 minutes total?
I don't think so.
So for him to be really the only Madsen that ever did anything worth a shit here, I think he left his mark, and he was a big part of the bridge between the previous regime and Coach Wes Miller, and he leaves with the utmost respect, at least in the way that he's phrasing it, the utmost respect for.
I don't think there was. I legit don't think there were any hard feelings. I think it was just like, this is what Mason wants out of his future. This is what it probably would have looked like at Cincinnati. So
go be great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it couldn't be here, but go be great.
Yeah, and he's as good as a lot of these guys you see in a lot of conferences that show up in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely. And he's firing off 4, 5, 6 3-pointers. Bang, bang, bang.
He'll find a role.
All of a sudden you're like, who the hell is this guy?
He will certainly find a role.
Yeah.
He works too hard.
What it means going forward, not sure yet. Like, there's one spot open. As I said, and if you haven't, go listen to the BCJ podcast from tonight. I'm not one to overly toot my horn often. We had John Cunningham on for an hour. A lot of really good, a lot of tough conversations with John in terms of where things are at in the athletic department. And then Dave and I went about an hour on UC basketball. We added a new sponsor, Urban Artifacts. Maybe you know what we got to do? We got to get Urban Artifacts into Galactic Fried Chicken, because Galactic serves
alcohol. Yeah,
we got to get those two.
Just marry our partnerships.
Yeah, we got to marry our partnerships with Galactic and Urban.
My favorite part of the John Cunningham interview, though, had to be when I was able to pull up this image and watch his reaction in real time as he got to see it.
He was like, "Oh, that looks good." Reminds me of my time at Minnesota when hockey's a big thing in Minnesota.
Yep.
And then I almost got him, Aaron. I was like, "Oh, so this is going to happen?" He was like, "Whoa, hey, oh wait." It's a lot of money that would take.
That's definitely an improvement as to where the Armory currently stands.
Correct. But it was a great conversation with John. Really enjoyed it. It was very insightful. I think he is. I don't know your take on this, but from my dealings with him, from the first time I interviewed him the day he got the job to today, a lot more comfortable in his skin and a lot more comfortable in this job and like how he's leading UC forward, which is what you want to see.
If I'm being honest, I believed at one point that John Cunningham was very stuffy and very stoic. And
I think he was.
I think tonight we actually got to see his personality, and I came away just wanting to. I now think that he's somebody I could go have a beer with.
Yeah.
And I think he would cut himself off at like 2. Because I think he's a responsible human being.
And you're not.
And B, I don't think he trusts himself not to release anything because he's very calculated in the way that he answers questions. So if I'm him, I'm probably not having more than 2 myself. But, again,
there was also a point early in his, like, when you come into this situation, you don't know the factors you're dealing with. Right.
He hadn't been an AD anywhere before he was here.
The more he's gotten to know this fan base, the more he's gotten to understand that Bearcat Journal has a predominant voice in this fan base, and his participation occasionally into that world is important. And I think he took it serious. Like,
tonight. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying from that is, like, it would have been very easy because, we'll pull back the curtain a little bit. I asked him right before we went on, how long we got you? And that's always for me.
Mm-hmm.
The reality of, like, how serious are they about this interview? Either they say, you got me for 15 minutes, or you got me for this and I got to go. Or they say, you got me. However long you need me, you got me. And I try to tell them, you don't mean that, because we'll keep your ass for 2 hours. We're doing this podcast for 2 hours. We'll keep you for 2 hours.
I truly believe he would have stayed if we would have.
Yeah. No, that was my call. That, like, you gave us an hour. That's more than I ever could have imagined, because I thought 20, 30 minutes tops going into that interview.
Mm-hmm.
And we got an hour. And to get the fan base, like, that's what this is about, right?
I hope
the fan base.
I hope Zach's okay that he gotta give us a full hour.
The point of what we do is to get the fan base the information that they can't get anywhere else.
I think the point of what we did tonight, though, was we gave John Cunningham a personality.
Yes.
I feel like he has
one.
Absolutely.
It just came out tonight.
It's been hard for it to translate in the press conferences, in the different things that he's done. Tonight, I feel like he didn't have a tie on, and I think that was big.
Yeah.
And he looked relaxed.
He was at home.
He was at home. He got to talk about his kids, and I don't think anybody has gotten to see that side of him. So we got to see the personality of John Cunningham, and I think it truly shone through the interview.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see what tomorrow brings.
Do you want to talk about that team over in Norwood?
Nah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care. Like, they have this misconception that, like, I care. I just like trolling them. I like making fun of them. This isn't, like, it's not fun to make fun of them at their lowest of lows. And I think they're going to hire Sean Miller, and he's a really fucking good coach. So I'm just staying out. Like, I'm good.
I just want to know where the John Rothstein, you've hit the bottom. This is the worst moment of your life. Like, where was that tweet today?
If they hire Sean Miller to replace Travis Steele, that tweet doesn't exist.
Fair enough.
Like, for real. So if they hire Sean Miller, the shootout's going to be a war going forward.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. I was surprised they did it until I found out why they did it, and then it made sense.
Such a slap in the face. Win an NIT game and see ya.
Dude, winning an IT game, scrapping and clawing and, like, holding on for every last breath against Cleveland State. Get the beep out. Out.
In closing, I just want to say, go Raiders.
Yeah, your boys got a dub, which took out the most charismatic player in the NCAA tournament in Peter Kiss.
A lot of players
Wright State kicked his ass.
A lot of players will never get an NCAA win, and my Wright State Raiders did it. So I'm proud of those guys. Well done.
Yeah, they wore camo outfits because if you play for Wright State, you're probably a member of the NRA. That's going to wrap it up. It's the Nightcap, brought to you Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on Bearcat Journal.
Unbelievable. See ya!